plays games with Jay.
Alright, thank you, Ibuki, for getting me through this nightmare.
Yahoo!
I miss her already. I got it. Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away. So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper? The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar? That's how they hid Hyoko's body and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue. But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. If their plan took too long, Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off, since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once, but what is it?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece, The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats moss balls.
I don't eat moss balls, I just enjoy looking at them. I knew it. There's so many similarities, it must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place? Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
The reason the killer imitated the two victims in that movie, I should be able to explain that now. Because they like movies.
They don't like movies.
Yeah. The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so we mix up the killing order.
Then, Hyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk. Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hyoko was killed. That would mean Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as a sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Oh man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk. Anyway, if this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hyoko was killed. When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I'm telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking? If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something? Oh, cool.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries. Then it's Hiyoko's blood. Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck, and she died almost instantly, right? If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed. Whoa.
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know. You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status. However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
Oh boy. Okay. Just got slashed through. I don't even know what blade this is.
Were you saying the blood on Ibuki's face belonged to Hiyoko? Impossible! Try to remember the crimes. There was no blood. You can't step on blood that was never there. Yeah, just about 1 minute. Did you see a nice nightmare?
What?
I'm too strong.
Okay.
I'm gonna save you some time. There's something here you are going to contradict.
Oh, okay. There was no blood on the floor? Oh, where is it? Smudge on the floor.
Because I think these parts are really dumb, so...
Thank you.
It's like, how can you read the words?
I guess we were playing in English, but we're playing in Japanese.
As long as Ibuki's body has no open wounds, there's no doubt that the blood is Hiyoko's.
Hiyoko was taped to the pillar, yes. Then it's possible that the pillar still had blood on it. However, you cannot step on the pillar with your feet. It's been nearly 3 years since I've had to use 60% of my power.
Whoa. Okay. If we draw out the story, okay. There won't be any place. Okay, yeah. Okay. Because I have to put the... Yeah. I'm cutting as fast as I can. Wow, I can't...
No. I think you're it's saying there won't be any place. So he's
I have to
saying
lose
you
this?
have to lose it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting. So I have to lose this and go back to the previous part of the argument? That's so... Wow. Okay, yeah, this part sucks.
There you go.
I was like just going through it because like, oh, okay, like I'm finally beating it this time, but I didn't know it was gonna lead me to a dead end. That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Yes, I do.
Bakura!
If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away. When the killer tried to hide Hiyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hiyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open. Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hiyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far.
Aside from Mikan, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikan's autopsy? That's right. I didn't know the time of death because of the heater. If the time of death wasn't mentioned in Monokuma file, just to keep concrete evidence from us. Yep, since we all have this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Now then, let us resume our debate. Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first. Again? Didn't something like this happen last time too? Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Huh? Suicide?
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no black in the punish, but I guess in a pinch I can always punish Monami.
Why me?
Nagito, what do you mean if the victim actually committed suicide? Well, I mean, I understand Hiyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hiyoko and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally impossible. Then she never would have killed her to begin with.
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hiyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive.
Huh?
When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead. If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and messed with the crime scene. She hanged herself, remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think, she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer. What the heck? There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
Huh?
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it? Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something? I don't know anything about that. Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was?
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right? It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature. Then, the video Hajime saw was actually live?
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
Okay, well, a lot of counts.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right? And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room. I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who started the motel, say the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Let me look at Mikan's account. Right up till Mikan was with Hajime the whole time. Afterwards, she went to the hospital to check on everyone and realized that Ibuki had disappeared when she reached out. Okay. Fuyuhiko's account. They checked the movie. They started split up. They checked the movie and the electric out. They didn't find anyone. Apparently, Fuyuhiko and Mikan were only separated for a short time. Sonya's account. Distraught. Let me listen to the whole thing again. See which ones I had. Okay. The murder supposedly happened before and during the morning announcement. The person who doesn't have an alibi for that time, before and during the announcement. Sorry. Right up until. Okay, so she has one. She's clear. Afterward, yeah. Fuyuhiko. They still the search. They didn't find anyone. Okay, so that is before and after. Sonya. I guess Sonya technically doesn't have one. I'm just gonna load this for now, but look. Okay, what about the others? Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my room. I think everyone was doing that. I had an alibi. What about you guys? He's in his own cottage. That's not an alibi. Aside from those reflect. Nobody had an alibi then? No, that's not contradicting that statement. Am I just agreeing with Fuyuhiko at this point?
Is there anything you have agree that he was in his cottage?
No.
Okay.
So that I guess not then. The clues that I have are Sonya, the movie ticket, Mikan, surveillance monitor video, Fuyuhiko. Yeah. So he's in his cottage. That's not an alibi. Nobody has an alibi then? Oh, duh. Okay. Mikan has one. There we go. Oh, man. Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
You two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mika and I were actually together for a while. We even woke up together that morning.
See, they were fucking, I told you!
No! Hey, what kind of situation is that?
Fucking!
Yeah, I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime. Too much info. It's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagito's condition had improved. And when we went to the hospital together afterward, so we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it, you guys have alibis.
We didn't fuck, guys. For real.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead. But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
Huh?
Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process. Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
The killer had a different reason? If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Inside a trap set by one of us? If so, then, whose? And what kind of trap is it?
An ingenious little trap.
Why, hello there, mon ami. The moss balls sure look tasty today.
Stop it! Don't characterize me as someone who lives off mossballs.
And here's some chance time!
How, what's that?
Now then, Monomi's appeal time starts now.
Huh? Appeal time?
Your kind-hearted big brother is gonna give you the chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck! Show those jerks who treat you like a red-headed stepchild who's boss.
Oh my god. That's 99% your fault.
While you were whining, your time's already running out, so please make your appeal simple. 30,000 words or so.
That's too long. It'll just be a boring appeal.
Come on, if your appeal is successful, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way. Kigurumis, for example.
Then... I'm Usami, magical miracle girl, Usami. I'm an itty-bitty girl who's sweet like milk.
Jeez, and I thought a certain robot's little sister was supposed to be the best. What a disappointment.
Who are you talking about? I have no clue whatsoever. Man, these interludes. Alright, class trial reopen. We're resuming. I'm Monomi. Once again, I've been put in such an unreasonable situation. Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this? We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead. No, this definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself, and don't forget to say frequently. For some reason, I can't stop thinking about Monomi when we do these trials, but whatever.
She's so hot.
Not what I expected you to say. The reason the killer did an imitation murder is a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence? Does something like that even exist?
Huh? It suddenly got quiet in here. Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing. Man, this again? If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too. If that happened, the imitation would have been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
Seriously, just shut up already. Shut up forever. But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete. Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of the Monokuma rule. It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie. About the lion that got killed second.
That's the one Hiyoko's body was imitating, right?
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by arrows, right? But Hiyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape. Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows. Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel as incomplete. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
What if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation? Their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying Hyoko's murder wasn't.
What?
Hyoko's murder wasn't planned? I understand the imitation wasn't enough, but aren't you making a bunch of assumptions? It's not just the poor imitation, there are also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like for example, why did Hyoko go to the music venue? Why did Hyoko go to the music venue? So, you're saying the truth behind Hyoko's murder is hidden? I have no freaking clue what you're trying to say.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My 4 dark divas of destruction are getting riled up.
Why Hyoko went to the music venue? If that's the key to all this, I need to find that out, no matter the cost. Why did Hyoko go to the music venue. There's no way we know that.
Maybe the killer summoned her? If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer. No, maybe she went of her own free will.
Or she was guided by the will of causality.
Okay, well that's not it.
Why not?
I need to find out why Hyoko went to the music venue
Rather
first.
dismissive of you.
According to Sonia, and Sonia's account isn't one of the bullets here, but she was saying Hyoko was distraught because her kimono was disheveled and she was unable to tie it. That's when Sonia apparently told her about the full-length mirror in the music venue storage room. I think that's strange that there isn't a bullet for, at least I'm missing it. Scrap, music venue curtain? What? Wait, what's special about the curtain? It's not wide enough, blah blah blah. Not something that was originally here. Okay, so that's not it. It sounds like it should be the mirror that because she wanted to go check the thing, but like I'm guessing that's the next part of the clue. But Wizard of Monomi? No. Motel room key. What was the clue with the key? That it was just there in her kimono, right? Is the key supposed to lead to the conversation? I'm gonna try it. Yeah, okay. It's just as Sonia said. She went to the music venue of her own free will.
So, exactly as I assumed. If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Hyoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
There's no way she got abducted.
Hyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out. If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hyoko got abducted.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that.
No, baba.
Oh god, what's happening?
Are you saying my gut was wrong? It's gonna be my first and last highlight of the day. Why don't you just let me shine already?
No, that's not the issue.
Shut up! Enough with your fancy talk. I'll shut you up right now.
Okay, let's see. Sonia's account. I bet Sonia's account. I'm gonna just load that up.
Hyoko's locked inside a room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced her way into the Hyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. That girl's so small and weak looking.
What the? What? Controller.
And that's what.
Controller.
Is it drifting?
I don't know. It's not responding to anything. Okay. That was weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, this last one, it just stops. What?
Is it? Are you doing it the right angle?
That's... Hold on.
There is like a right angle you have to cut it.
Yeah. I'm just going for like every angle now. Just to be safe. What the fuck?
This is the battery.
No, it's not. I was charging. I've been charging it the whole time. Hey, we made it through. But Hyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one that locked the door. So what? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
How long is this conversation? There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on, you just remember Hyoko's body. The kimono was all messed
Oh, no,
up.
that's not it. Oh, yeah. Wait. No, yeah, okay. Jesus.
Hold on, remember, it was all messed up. My gut is totally right after all.
Okay, it's not letting me slice anymore. So it's one of those I need to do.
Why is it not letting you slice?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Can I see it?
Look, it's just going perfectly fine, and then at some point, it stops, like, letting me swing. Either way, though, I know I need to react to one of those words, I just don't know which one. And Sonya's account, I guess, isn't it. See, yeah. I think it might be
you're supposed to do that second part somewhere.
the second part.
Yeah.
Like, react to one of those words.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or Mikon's account?
No, I'm just trying to look for something else to load. If it's not. Yo, I'm sorry. Can you throw me a bone here and just tell me which one I gotta do?
Get to the part.
I can't load it in time. That's the thing. Like,
Okay, get Sonya's account.
see, what the fuck?
Let me see it.
Yeah, go for it.
First off, okay. Options / in the direction you
Yeah.
press. Okay, overturn.
You see me slash before? There's nothing. I think my controller's just old. See, like, that's fine there. See?
Okay. Oh, that is weird.
Yeah. You can give it back. I'll figure. Oh. Yeah. Oh, we're stuck here forever.
Is it?
Slash. You know what? I'm just using a D-pad.
I'm wondering if it's a. Oh, yeah, D-pad might work.
Yeah,
I'm wondering
yeah.
if it is like a battery issue.
I mean, I was charging it the whole time.
D-pad's working, right?
D-pads. See, it stops here too. D-pad too.
Maybe this part just is fucked. Okay, I'm just gonna help you. Sonya's testimony on what the fuck is it? Fight, like they
Oh, the
fought,
fight, okay.
fought the killer because obviously they didn't.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
This is I mean, these parts are a fucking nightmare. Next part.
Oh my God.
Christ Almighty! All right, well, we'll get back to this next time.
Sorry about that, everyone.
Thanks, swords.